So hello everyone, we are back again with our latest video on SQL Tutorial Ebikacho by Ebikacho Groups. And this is the day 4 set 1 of 30-day SQL interview question series. And this video is getting recorded on 2nd of May 2025. So without any delay, let's move on to the first question of this video. And here we will resolve the query based question first, and then we will move on to the theoretical part as we are doing in our previous sets. Okay. So what is the first question of today's video? Let's move and check. So here what the first question is, write a query to find all employees who report to a specific manager. So basically the table for these queries we have already created on our database. So let's move on to SSMS and check the table first and then try to resolve each of the query one by one. Okay. Now copy this query. Now open the database. Then we have the SQL interview database, new query. So first paste this question here. So what it is telling, so write a query to find all employees who report to a specific manager. Okay, so for this we already created a table which is employee manager that we have used in our previous video also. So you can refer that table itself. So first check the data for that table. So select star from employee manager table. Okay, so here you can see we have the employee ID, employee name, manager ID and supervisor ID. So what the question is telling, so the question is telling to find the employees who reports to a specific manager. So let's take, if Bob is the manager, then what all are the employees who reports to them, who reports to Bob? We need to find out those records. So this is a very simple query. Just we need to put a where condition with Bob as Bob's ID as manager ID. Okay, so select start from employees where, now execute this, where Bob ID is 2. So where manager ID equals to 2, where manager id is equals to 2, and this is the final solution that you will provide to the interviewer. And basically this is a very basic question and these are asked to the beginners only. Okay, not to any experience level, because if you have experience then you have worked on where clause and filtered the records and all. So basically for freshers this question belongs to. Okay, so here you can see the output, like employee ID 4 and 5, David and Eve are working under Bob. Okay, so this is clear. Now move on to the next question. So next what we have, the second question. So how can you find the total number of departments in the company? So this is a good question. So we need to find out the total number of departments in the company. So we have an employee table for this. Now we will check the employee table first. So first of all, put a select star on employee table. So this is the same employee table that we are using in our previous video. So now execute this. Day 3 questions are also belongs to these tables only. So you can refer that table only. So here you can see we have the ID table, ID column, name column, department column, country, age, salary and date of joining. Now what we need to find out? We need to find out total number of departments. Okay. So basically you can see here these are the departments CS, IT, HR, and how to find out the total number of distinct department we need to find it out. Okay, so there is a trick in between the question. So what will be our query for this? So select count and then we need the distinct department. So distinct, DINCT, distinct department from employees, and the alias we will provide as total department count. Okay, so this is clear. So we need to find out the distinct departments because we have distinct department only and these records are based on that departments only. Okay, now the total number of department in the company, how many departments are there? So execute this. So here we can see 4 departments are in total, and execute select star from the employees table and check once your answer. So select star from, so these are also very basic questions and these can be asked to around means beginners to 3 years of experience level people. Okay, because there is a trick between that, like we need to use the distinct for counting the record. Okay, so here you can see we have CS, IT, HR and then we have the payroll department. So total 4 departments we have and our result is coming like that only. And this is the final query which is highlighted is the final query for this particular question. Okay, now move on to the next question. So next what we have, so here basic questions also we will cover, for freshers and beginners also we will cover the questions, and for expertise levels also we will cover the questions. Okay, so basically you need to go through the previous sets also. So there we have lots of question and here we have also lots of question and this will go till 30 days. Okay, now the third question what it is telling, how to find the department with lowest average salary. Okay, so this is a very good question. So we need to find out the department which has the lowest average salary in the employees table. Okay, so this can be asked to experience level of something around 1 to 5 years of experience. So for this the query will be like select now, find the department with the lowest average salary. Select department, then average salary from. This is also a basic question, but it is a bit good question. Okay, from employees table, and then in where condition what will come. So where condition we will not apply here we will need to apply the having clause, because we need to group this particular record as per department, because department wise we need the average salary, and we need the minimum salary of which department. Okay, so now first of all group the record, group group by department. Okay, and this will provide the average salary department wise. Now execute this first. This is not the complete query. Okay, so you can see department wise salary we are getting, average salaries we are getting, and now we need the minimum among this. So IT we need. So how to find it out? So you need to write like select top one department average salary from employees table, group by department, and then having average salary. And why we are not using where clause? Because for filtering aggregate function we need to apply having clause. Okay, group by department having average salary. uh, no, order by, sorry, my mistake. Having clause we don't need to apply here, we need to apply here order by, sorry, order by average salary in ascending order. Okay, because we need the lowest salary, and if we need the highest salary then we need to order by average salary descending. Okay, for ascending we don't need to provide any means keyword, because by default SQL is processing it into ascending order. Now execute this, and this is the final query that you need to provide to the interviewer. So we don't need to use where and having clause here, sorry for my mistake. Now execute this. So here you can see IT, and this is the total salary, average salary. Okay, which is the minimum average salary. So here you can write like as avg salary. Okay, and this is the final query that you need to provide to the interviewer. So IT and average salary is this much. Okay, now move on to the next question. So next what we have, the fourth question: how to delete all employees from a department in one query. Okay, so all employees from one department we need to remove by using one query, single query. Okay, so this is a very simple question. And how to resolve this? Let's move on to SSMS and check. So we have multiple departments and we need to delete all employees from one department. Okay, so let's take CS department. So first of all we need to write the query like select query. Before deleting and updating you must need to check the records if you are deleting the exact record or updating the exact record or not by using the select query. This is a very good practice, and this practice you need to follow in while you are going to work also, and while you are deploying any changes in production or in dev also. If you are deploying any changes then you need to check your query first if the output is coming fine or not, and then only you need to delete or update, because rolling it back is very means the work will increase because of that. So don't try to delete or update without testing. So first of all test like employees from CS, how many employees are there. So select star from employees table where department equals to CS. Okay, so this will provide us all the record belonging to CS department. So here we have 4 records. Okay, now we need to delete all the employees from a department. From CS department we will delete all the records by what? So by the final query for this will be like, now comment this out and then write the delete statement. So the query will be delete from employees table, delete from employees table, sorry, employees where department equals to CS. Okay, this is clear, and this is the final query that you need to provide to the interviewer. Now execute this, and all the records from the employees table for CS department has been deleted. Now execute this and zero record are there. Okay, so this is clear to everyone. Now move on to the next question. So next what we have, fifth question. So how to display all employees who have been in the company for more than 1825 days, or you can consider it as a 5 year. Okay, so how to consider it 5 year? So it can be possible that they have considered 365 days for each year. Okay, so first of all check, select 365 into 5. Okay, so you can see 1825. So this question can also be asked like, write down how to display all the employees who have been in the company for more than 5 years. Okay, the both the questions will replicate the same thing. Okay, now the solution for this will be like, select, this is a very simple question, but the trick is in knowing the dates and all. So select star from employees table, employees where where we need to write like date of joining doj, no, from current date we need to check the 1825 days. Okay, so here you can write like doj, like day part, day of. Okay, so here we need to use the date diff function, and we need to find out the difference between the date of joining and the current date, and if that particular time is matching to 1825, then that will be our answer. Okay, so date diff, and if you need to know a detailed video on date and time function, then you can check our date and time function video that will be available on our video description. And also if you don't get on our description, then you can go to our channel and see that, because date time function is a very important part of SQL, and if you are going to develop SQL, then you must know each and every date and time function. Okay, because that make many differences. Okay, so now select star from employees where date diff between get date, get date, no, date of joining, date diff, and we need to check the day. So day, date diff day, get date, get date, not date of joining is the smallest, so date of joining comma get date. Okay, so which is smallest will come first. Okay, because from that we are minusing get date. Okay, we will check now only date of joining comma get date, date diff, date of join day, date of joining comma get date should be less than 1825. Okay, and this is the final query that you need to provide to the interviewer for this particular question. Now execute this and check first. So you can see here these employees have been, should be less than. Okay, we need to check those employees who have worked more than 1825 days now. So this should be greater than. Okay, greater than 1825. Now execute this and this will give us the final output. So here you can see Isaac and Dharmesh are working for more than 5 years. Okay, so this is clear, and this is a very good question. So mark this question as good question. Okay, because here we are applying some date functions also. Okay, and this is the final query that you need to provide to the interviewer, and this question can be asked to an experience level of something around 1 to 5 years of experience or 6 years of experience. This can be also expected. Okay, to check your basic knowledge on date and time function and working with the SQL functions. Okay, now move on to the next question. So next what we have, next we have the theoretical part. So we will increase our screen length so that it will be good for you also and us also. Okay, now move on to the sixth question. So what we have, why use an index? Okay, so this is a very important question, why we are using an index. So using an index in SQL Server can significantly enhance query performance and efficiency. Okay, this is the short question, and people with less means experience, something around beginner to 2 years of experience, then they can answer this much only, that will be fine. And if the interviewer will ask you in detail, then you need to provide some of the below reasons also. So below are some of the reasons why indexes are important. So number one reason is faster data retrieval. So indexes help speed up searches by allowing SQL Server to locate rows without scanning the entire table. Okay, now second point, efficient sorting. So if queries use order by index can help avoid sorting operations, saving processing time. Okay, Now the third point, optimize joins. So when joining table indexes improve query speed by quickly finding matching rows. Okay. Now the fourth point, better filtering. So indexes improve performance of queries using where clause by reducing unnecessary reads. Okay. And the fifth point is reduce input output operation. So since indexes allow SQL Server to retrieve data faster, fewer disk read are needed. Okay. So basically these are the points why the indexes are important. And if you want to go in detail for indexes, means what are indexes, what are types of indexes and how they are working, then you can reach out to our index video. There we have explained indexes in detail. Okay. Now move on to the next question. So next what we have the seventh question. So types of indexes, what are the types of indexes? So SQL Server offers different types of indexes to enhance query performance, and below are the main ones. Okay, so the main indexes are like number one, clustered index and non-cluster index. So people with less experience, like beginners to 2-3 years of experience, can explain cluster and non-cluster indexes also, and the other indexes are for those who have more than 3 years of experiences. Okay, but means beginners can also learn this. This will be anyhow going to be useful for them. So the starting with the first index, like cluster index. So little bit explanation also you need to provide for each of the indexes. So number one is the cluster index. So cluster index, what it will do, it sorts and stores data rows in the table based on index key, and each table can have only one cluster index. Okay. Now second point is non-cluster index. So it stores index separately from the data, allowing multiple non-cluster indexes per table for optimized searches. Okay. Now the third index is unique index. So what it will do? So unique index ensures all values in the indexed column are unique, helping maintain data integrity. Okay. Now the fourth index, filtered index. So an optimized index applied to a subset of data, improving performance for frequently queried specific values. Okay. Now the fifth index, so full text index. So full text index used for fast text searches across large data sets. Okay, so these are used for large data sets. Now the sixth is XML index. So XML index improves query performance when working with XML data. And last one is the spatial index, so which enhances search efficiency for geographical or spatial data. So while we are working with geographical data or something, then we need to use the spatial index. Okay, so this is clear. Now move on to the next question. So next what we have, eighth question. So what is a cluster index? Okay, so cluster and non-cluster index are very important indexes, and they are main indexes. Okay, so you must know what are cluster index and what are non-cluster index and the working for them. And for a detailed discussion on this, you can visit to our index video. Okay, now read the eighth question. So what is a cluster index? So a cluster index sorts and stores the data rows of the table or views in order based on the cluster index key. So basically, the cluster index will change the physical order of the table, means the physical order of the table will be in the order same as that of the cluster index key. Okay, the cluster index is implemented as a B tree index structure that supports fast retrieval of the rows based on their clustered index key values. Okay, now what is non-cluster index? Ninth question. So a non-cluster index can be defined on a table or view with a clustered index or on a heap. Okay. Now each index row in the non-cluster index contains the non-clustered key values and the row locator. Okay. So each of the non-cluster index contains the non-cluster key values and the row locator. So this locator points to the data row in the cluster index or heap having the key value. Okay, the rows in the index are stored in the order of index key values, but the data rows are not guaranteed to be in any particular order unless a cluster index is created on that table. Okay, so this is clear. And if you want to know about the details of how the indexes are working behind the scenes, then you can let us know in the comment. We will create a separate video for this, a detailed video on that indexes, how they are structured in the database and how they are working. Okay, now move on to the next question. So this is the last question. Write the T-SQL statement or syntax for creating an index. Okay, so what is the syntax for creating an index? So creating a cluster index, the syntax for that is create cluster index, then index name. So for index, basically we use idx as prefix, and then you can put the column name on which you are going to define the index. Okay, now create cluster index name on table name and the column on which you are going to create the index. Okay, so this creates a cluster index on the column in the table, storing data physically, sorting data physically. Okay, so basically the data in the table are getting sorted by cluster indexes. Okay, this is clear. Now how to create a non-cluster index? Number 2, so create non-cluster index, then index name on table name, and then the column on which you are going to apply the non-cluster index. Okay, and what the non-cluster index is doing, so a non-cluster index stores the index separately from the actual table data, improving search speed. Okay, now the last one, creating a unique index. So the syntax for this will be like, create unique index, index name on table name, and the column on which we are going to implement this unique index. Okay, so what the unique index will do, so a unique index ensures that all values in the column are distinct. And basically these syntaxes are asked from the means people having low experience level, and from high experience level people also it can be asked. If the company required people to do development in their company, then they will ask you the syntaxes also. So for that purpose these particular questions are very important, and you must know at least the syntax for cluster index, non-cluster index, and unique index, because these three are primary indexes. Okay, now this is the end of this series, and the second part for day 4 set 2 we will launch today itself, at night. So be ready for that, and do like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Many more videos are on the way, and if you need the data sets and the table details, then you can visit to our Telegram channel using this link, or also you will find the link on our channel description and also on this video description. So for thank you for watching. Thank you everyone. Keep connected. Thank you.